rise of humiliation.
How are you? How are you?
Good.
What's your name?
How old is that nigga?
The 20 women versus one rapper trend is everywhere on social media. And yes, it sounds like a wrestling match, clearly arranged to demean women. At least if it was a sporting event to test the physical ability of the male body against the females, it would be an easier pill to swallow. It is not wrestling. The embarrassing trend parades a number of women, usually in a lineup, so that one main character, usually a rapper or an influencer, can choose who he likes to date, or in some case, smash. It's like a real-life Tinder, only way more cringy. Since it began to trend, different variations have come up, like 30 men versus one influencer, 50 women versus 2 rappers, and so many others. Honestly, people have said there are some of these shows that are actually quite entertaining, and even edifying because everyone on the set remains respectful to one another. However, since not every YouTuber is concerned about delivering good quality content, the simple background work involved in setting up a wholesome live dating show is skipped, and the internet becomes the huge bin for trash content. The show really doesn't have anything edible. It's just there mainly for monetization. It's all about the views. Everything is done on some 20 women versus one celebrity show. It has nothing to do with regular dates. A celebrity character questions those lined up for him or her. The questions are mostly unnecessarily sexual questions. Women are asked to turn around and do a 360. Some are asked very personal questions like what their body count is, the last time they were sexually intimate, and what sexual acts they can perform, and the like. Who asks those kind of questions on a date? And if a lady refuses to answer, she's rejected in a very embarrassing way. It's probably the 15 minutes of fame that make women flock to these events, where some of them would rather be literally humiliated. Sure, the video makes loads of money for the channel's owner, but some of these women who have been used for content won't even get paid. The only payment they receive for their humiliation and embarrassment is the 5 to 10 minutes of standing beside an internet celebrity. It's pitiful. People sitting at home, scrolling through YouTube, would express disgust at the terrible content or make fun of the women's loss of composure, flooding the comment section with different takes, which only increases the low self-esteem of those who participate in it. Understand there is nothing good about these shows. A good example is the case of Shamar McCoe.
Did you take me to this mad dollar and I don't even do mad dollar?
When Shamar, who suffers from a disability, became a social media sensation, YouTubers were quick to make a spectacle by inviting Shamar to 20 versus 1 shows to be laughed at and ridiculed. Shamar is well known as a spirited personality who has risen above his physical and mental challenges to draw out his best potential. His reward is the hundreds of thousands he now has in social media followings. But instead of building on Shamar's inspiring story, these disgraceful YouTubers would rather use him for 20 versus 1 shows to drive views. And that's because of the views that accompanied his first 20 versus 1 appearance. More YouTubers can't wait to snatch him up so he can appear on their version of 20 versus 1. Shamar has now become a regular feature in 20 versus 1, even getting paired with other influencers and artists. YouTubers are making bank all the way and talking about some YouTubers' unrelenting greed for money. Another heartbreaking feature on the 20 versus 1 roller coaster, one of the most shocking videos on the internet with 10-year-old Atlanta rapper Lil Rt. Yes, 10. Lil Rt was literally born in June of 2014. His song 60 Miles went viral on YouTube, amassing over 4 million views within a few months. He soon released 60 Miles 2 and 60 Miles 3, featuring older artists on both tracks. Many people, most parents themselves, criticize Lil Rt's parents and whatever family member he has for allowing a child to have such explicit content and mature themes in his music. But the worst is yet to come. A YouTuber set Lil Rt up for a 20 versus 1. Right from the beginning of the video, you immediately feel your stomach churn like you ate something that wasn't meant to go down your digestive system. The host then proceeds to tell Lil Rt, I got 20 for you here. Like, this is all normal. The next question is probably the most sickening things on YouTube. The host asks a 10-year-old boy, what's your type? Lil Rt's shocking reply is a light skin. That's a child talking about his preferences in women. The next shocking revelation was the 20 women in the video weren't women at all. They were children. Lil Rt was supposed to talk to little girls between the ages of 9 and 12, brought on the disgusting show by their parents. How low can you go? Because of money? One of the kids clearly stated she came on the show to promote her own channel. Lil Rt was given a balloon to signify those he liked and those he didn't. He pointed out that some girls were too tall. Imagine what that does to a growing child's self-esteem, to be told she is too tall will not be liked by other people because of it. There were kids who weren't allowed to say anything before Lil Rt popped his balloon. What type of understanding is being created in a rejected kid who's getting turned away just because of their appearance? And Lil Rt himself was put in a terrible situation, having to judge people without even understanding what he was doing. The real problem is the show and the host asking a child if he will ever have two girlfriends, putting children in a position where they ask questions like, what's the oldest you've ever dated? And viewers hear responses like, 11. It just keeps getting worse. There was an 8-year-old girl twerking on the show, and Lil Rt was reacting to it. What the heck was he reacting for? What's more disturbing was the fact that the host and the parents were those among these children encouraging this horrible activity. This was the height of it. This means kids can do it 20 versus 1, something that has caused adults emotional trauma. The popularity of this awful trend has been greatly increased by the presence of big-name rappers like DaBaby, who was paid $20,000 to appear on one of the shows, but he decided to leave halfway without refunding the money. However, many believe that the trend is nearing its end, and we can only hope that videos like Lil Rt versus 20 quicken its demise. And let's hope the next trend is not something worse.